Hello and welcome back to FPS Creator Classics, where we take a look at interesting and original games developed in FPS Creator. So far on this series I've mostly been looking at games from the early years of FPSC, so between about 2005 and 2010. But today we're going to take a look at something that's a little bit more recent. This is Kshatriya Prologue, or to give it its full title I guess, Kshatriya Prologue Prologue. It's a co-production between Wolf and Bugsy, two well-respected members of the community, and in fact we've already looked at one of Wolf's games previously, Euthanasia. Bugsy, we haven't looked at any of his work yet, but both of them very, very competent game developers, and they teamed up in 2013 to create this Cyberpunk game. In fact, it's the first of a whole series of collaborations that they did within the Kshatriya universe. As far as I'm aware, I think this is the only one that was released on FPSC. I think other episodes were made in Game Guru. So a really interesting cyberpunk concept going on here. So just to give you a little bit of flavor text on where we are, where the world of the story is, I'll just read you the text from the original forum post. In the dense Undercity, there is little room to maneuver, and sunlight barely touches the landscape. Each and every space is letted as a living area to house people, to the point where rooftops are apartments, stores, and restaurants often. In the Undercity, you're always on the roof of something. When picking up the laundry turns into an alternate route home, which leads to the discovery of a key Kshatriya artifact, a good day can quickly turn bad. Play as a faceless civilian thrust into a world of trouble for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. So, that doesn't give too much away. Just before we get started, so I've been having a lot of trouble with old FPSC games when they've got cutscenes, and this game has quite a few. If the cutscene is a Windows Media Video, so .wmv, for some reason Windows 10 doesn't seem to want to play it. So the only workaround I've found to be able to do this is to take these cutscenes into some video editing software and render them out as AVI files and then rename them as WMVs. So this cutscene here is in fact an AVI file, but it's just been renamed to basically trick FPSC into thinking it's a WMV. I don't know what the issue is, whether that's just unique to my system, whether you'll have that as well, but if you are, hopefully that workaround will help you. This game features quite a few cutscenes. There's sort of these big kind of opening ones, and then there's also these little, what they're calling artifact aggression cutscenes. There's a few of those, which we'll get into. I'll explain more as the game goes on. So I've converted all those into AVI files so that they'll work for this playthrough. Basically just because, to have to try and edit those in afterwards, I think it's going to kind of ruin the experience. So you'll get a much more natural reaction out of me from seeing them live, so to speak. So anyway, perhaps that workaround will help for you, perhaps not, maybe it's just my system. Anyway, let's get on with the game. Okay, so here we are, cyberpunky looking menu screen here, and prologue of the prologue, I guess. I don't know if there were other episodes of Kshatriya Prologue planned, but anyway, let's get underway. So walk up to pedestrians, they might have something interesting to say. Default FPS controls apply, and this is what a Kshatriya artifact is. It causes hallucinations, stress, and mental breakdowns. Oh dear.
The Undercity isn't exactly a utopia. It's a pretty nasty place. It's basically modern Kowloon City. Confined just underground and ridiculously dense, there are no laws here. At least, not ones often enforced. Police usually stay to the middle city where crime is more approachable, only coming down here when there's an unholy ruckus. It just so happened that today I was the center of one of those unholy ruckuses.
Okay, an unholy ruckus, so that's what we've got to look forward to. So here we are then, in our apartment. A little bit of custom media going on here, but also let's just take a little look out of this window. FPS Creator was never very good at outdoor environments, but this game is particularly good at showing sort of cityscape environments. Some really clever tricks going on there to make that look really lived in and dense.
It was time to do the laundry. My apartment was too small for a washer and a dryer, so I went to the laundromat on the building adjacent's roof.
So heading to a laundromat in an adjacent building. I guess we are technically underground, I guess, if this is the Undercity, but it sort of feels like we're in a sort of an apartment block or something. Let's just take a moment to appreciate the design of this corridor. Lots of custom media here. Obviously, as I say, it was a collaboration between Wolf and Bugsy, so a lot of Wolf's models on display, presumably. Bugsy is an animator. He actually works in the video game industry as an animator, so there's going to be lots of custom characters and custom animations on display here. This presumably is some of his handiwork.
Man, I'm telling you, I've just been feeling so pissed off lately, and I don't get it at all. Yeah, I noticed the same thing too. It was really weird, like everything was fine last week, but then just suddenly I'm just so aggressive.
Okay. Always found it a little bit weird that this lady's hair, there's no kind of alpha channel on her hair, so things aren't quite working as they should. You've got those little white kind of patches, but never mind. So yeah, immediately, very strong sense of place, really good atmosphere, a little bit of environmental storytelling going on as well with the posters and the vending machines, some really good lighting, and even the soundtrack is very befitting of the genre and the mood. This is obviously very futuristic, but certainly not a utopian future.
It was right next door, but the city was a maze of density, so it was about a 5-minute walk to get there.
More custom characters, just chilling.
And what do you want?
Okay. Saw those characters just pop in there. FPSC always had issues with memory and memory management, so it often made a lot of sense to only spawn in characters when you actually needed them. So in that other hallway previously, we saw 3 characters. They've probably been killed off since we left that area. If we were to go back there now, there wouldn't be any characters there. And it's basically to save FPS, to give you a bit more performance. You only spawn in the characters you absolutely need to have on screen at one time. So these are the types of tricks that we all had to use back in the day to get over the shortcomings of FPSC. But this game functioning very well to work around those limitations.
It wasn't long after I left my apartment that things began to unravel.
That's a custom skybox up there. Hopefully we'll get a better view of that bit later on. I think we have to make our way down here first. Looks like we're on some rooftops. I think that fall's definitely going to kill me, but I might be able to make that roof there if I run and jump. Only just about made it. I'm always a bit dubious of jumping puzzles and things like that in FPSC. It's quite difficult to kind of see where you're going when you can't see your feet.
Something told me I was being followed, but I forced the feeling down.
So we just saw some guy run off into the distance there. We've seen him a few times. Gonna go and see what he's left behind. Ah, this must be a Kshatriya artifact.
Something told me the object I picked up was important, or at least expensive, but I had more important things to deal with.
Like your laundry. So let's continue making our way to the laundromat. Taking a moment to really appreciate this sort of back alley environment that we find ourselves in. The models are actually not particularly detailed, or the textures are quite low res as well, but just the way that it's used, the placement of the entities, and also the lighting, all working really well to kind of just create a really interesting scene. And actually the big thing that's sort of breaking up the scene a lot are these kind of wires and sort of trellis structures above us. Again, a little bit like with my playthrough of Euthanasia. In that game, Wolf was using different architectural elements to kind of break up the scene a little bit and make it just look less boxy. FPSC, as you may know, you developed everything on a kind of a grid-based system, so there was a tendency to have kind of right angles everywhere and everything would look a little bit boxy. But by using bits of architecture like this and the signs, the air vents, even the kind of neon signs and the air conditioning boxes, it just kind of adds a little bit of extra flavour to it and makes it look a bit less boxy and a bit claustrophobic, it has to be said.
Fucking cunt left me and lost my job and now I'm stuck in this hell.
Charming. So let's continue on. Okay, we've had a couple of these sort of hallucinations, I guess you'd call them. And there's that guy again running. He's obviously important to the plot somehow. Another one of our female characters with the white paper stuck to her hair. And yeah, cool lighting. Nice trade-off between the blues and the reds. Contrasting colours. Okay, level transitions. So, we're going to get a weapon. Press enter to pick up a gun, mouse 2 to aim, and press T to pick up and drop barrels. Okay.
I set the weird artifact down to get change from the machines for the laundry. I looked back and it was gone. I decided that perhaps this was the most important thing to deal with.
Okay, so I guess I have to chase that guy. Which is a shame because it means leaving this very nicely designed laundromat environment. Anyway, let's continue.
I had to follow him. I wondered if he took the artifact because it looked expensive.
This is going to be some kind of jumping thing, isn't it? Yeah, look at that. Chasm of Doom. I'm going to have to try and jump that. I hate jumping puzzles in FPSC. I'm really bad at them. I find...
The thief was fast. That was for sure.
Okay, another hallucination. Yeah, I find that gravity doesn't always work consistently in FPSC. So your jump distances aren't always what you expect them to be. So it's quite difficult to measure out your jumps.
And he let me know that I shouldn't have been following him, in no uncertain terms.
So as I mentioned before, Bugsy is an animator working in the video game industry, so all these little parkour moves are presumably done by him. Oh god damn it. I told you I was rubbish at jumping puzzles. See, you press space and nothing happens. This is what's so frustrating about FPSC. Yeah, so...
I pressed on. There had to be something I didn't know about the artifact.
I mean, the animation is so good that... Oh, that's interesting. The water appears to be flowing upwards. That's a bit random. Yeah, the animations are really good. I wonder if they are...
Time to show this guy I wasn't going to let him fuck with me.
I wonder if they're motion capture or hand animated. Be interested to know about that.
No time to explain. Where's the gun? It's on the desk.
Okay, here we are. Let's get a gun. No HUD for ammo or anything. I guess we're just going to have to kind of wing it.
I took another shortcut to head him off.
And it wouldn't be... Another hallucination. Wouldn't be an FPSC game without some vent crawling. Ah, here we go. There's that skybox. Really helping to add depth into the world. You were also limited on space within an FPSC level. Didn't have a huge amount of space on that grid to lay out your levels.
The thief was just toying with me at this point, but he didn't expect me to bring firepower.
Okay, so some barrels have just randomly spawned there. I don't think I'll be able to make that jump, but I might be able to make this one at the end if I give it a bit of a run.
I just wasn't in good enough shape to keep up with him, but I wasn't going to let myself give up.
Okay, so I can't get across there. Okay.
Man, I've been locked out all day. Serves me right for taking the shortcut home, though. But I bet if you moved one of these barrels in front of the door and shot it from a safe distance, you could knock it down and let us in.
And that's just what I'm going to try. So, pick up, pressing T. You know what? I have so little faith in my ability to do jumping puzzles, I'm going to save. You can see I already tried to do this earlier and had a bit of a game crash. This is my second attempt at playing the game. So, Yeah, I'm just going to try and run and just see what happens. I only just about made that one. You see that little stutter there? That was me like literally just about making the edge. And actually I now can't see where the ledge is, so I need to kind of hold this in a different way. I keep dropping it as well. I'm not pressing a button to drop it, it just drops. So I can't go backwards, I can only go forwards. Right, okay. Oh, wish me luck. Just about made it. Okay, and stand back. Mouse 2 to aim. Got forced back right to the edge by that explosion. Thankfully didn't die. Nearly did. Okay, loading level 3. Health automatically regenerates. I don't think that was a feature of FPSC originally. That's something that was added in later versions. I guess that's one of the benefits of playing a game made with a later version of FPSC. I've no idea what version this was made in. But the light mapping is a lot better than version 1. You are hurt. Get to cover. Okay, well, I mean, right. I don't know why I started... Oh, I'm not sure. More parkour. Oh god, I'm not going to be able to make this, am I? CCTV monitoring facility? Can't get in there. Kill! Trying to jump from steps is... See? There we go, that's better. Quite fast paced, I like it.
One thing became blindingly clear at this point.
Couldn't really hear that line, I'm afraid. Music's quite loud. Look at all this stuff clambering up. Brilliant.
Right now, I was a criminal.
Apparently I'm a criminal. So I'm expecting to come across some resistance. I wonder if I can... Oh, I don't want to go that way. I want to carry on this way.
Stop right there.
You're not even armed. Okay, that's creepy. Okay, I don't really want to jump down there if I'm honest. Neon screens, very Blade Runner-esque. He's direct. I literally can't. Can't even. See, I died because they were underneath that. They were underneath that structure, this gantry, and I couldn't actually get to them. How the hell am I gonna... How the... You can let me pick up their guns? Right, here we go. Oh, this looks like a custom assault rifle of some kind. Hopefully this does a bit more damage. And I guess I need to go this way. Can I pick these boxes up? Yep, okay. It's your classic FPSC stacking puzzle. There's a barrel there. Hang on a minute, isn't that what...
From then on, my
I'm gonna hide. I Are they going to come and follow me? No. So when I hit them, I think I get a little green reticle appear to show that I've hit them. What? Are you kidding me? I'm now out of ammo. That's unacceptable. I really don't seem to be able to take out these soldiers. I'm trying to headshot them, but... Please tell me I actually have some ammo for this rifle. Okay.
All I have to do is
Need to get the cover. Okay, civilian's dead. That's not very good. This thing has like the worst aim ever. I'm out of ammo. That's a really slow reload animation. Right. This has taken so long that the music has now stopped, which either means I'm really rubbish at these gunfights, or, yeah, I don't know.
Without ammo or any tricks up my sleeve, my only choice was to run. I don't know which mistake was bigger, taking that weird artifact the first time or trying to take it a second time, but it led me nowhere good. I ran until I couldn't run anymore, reached an impasse and gave up from exhaustion, landing in a sickening crack on the rooftop below. Death welcomed me before I had a chance to feel anything. But if I learned one final thing that day, it's that whatever that artifact was, I don't want anything to do with it.
And there we go. That was Kshatriya, Prologue. And there we are. So, let me just come out of that game a second. I didn't want to talk over those credits. Always nice to see credits in a game. You don't often see those in a FPSC game. They normally just kind of end unceremoniously. Yeah, I mean, well, you can't fault the level design. It was amazing, and the lighting, the use of props, the textures, a lot of custom media in there. Yeah, all fantastic. And you know, special shout out for the animation. I think that's actually one of the standout things for me. I think, you know, anyone can do good lighting and design kind of props and things in FPSC, but character animation was always really difficult. You had to do it in external programs and things, and yeah, just to see the difference between you know, those sort of character animations. I mean, they're way better than the ones that come with the characters that come preloaded with FPSC. So you really get the, you know, you really get to see the difference there between what like a proper well animated character is and not so well animated character, of which sadly there are plenty across many FPSC games. You can certainly see why it's one of the best games that was made in FPSC. It has a really interesting storyline. I mean, that kind of whet my appetite to see, where this story is going to go. I did find the jumping puzzles quite hard, as I always do, but yeah, at least I managed to get through those. The gunfights, the gunplay, honestly, probably could have been better. I think the reload animations are a little bit slow, and in that kind of fast-paced sort of firefight that you find yourselves in, it's something that you really need like a fast reload, to kind of keep up that energy. And I found I ran out of bullets really quickly as well, and there was no HUD for me to keep an eye on my kind of ammo count or anything. But yeah, overall, again, a fantastic game, and Wolf and Bugsy would go on to develop more within the Kshatriya series, as I say, mostly within Game Guru. There's not much else you can say, really. It's just a really well-made game. So there'll be a link in the description to where you can play Kshatriya Prologue. And I do encourage you to check out the other games in this series as well, which, as I say, are mostly made in Game Guru, I think. But yeah, I definitely look forward to playing more from Wolf and Bugsy in the future, perhaps in future episodes of this very series. So until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time on another episode of FPS Creator Classics. Cheers!